So, Vinny, you are head of Martech here at 3Pipe, and we're here today to talk about CRO. What is CRO?
Exactly. So CRO, it stands for Conversion Rate Optimization and is the art and science of increasing the conversions on your website. Nowadays it's really like there is a lot of competition to get the user attention. So once you get them on your website, it's crucial that you actually keep them on your website. Why is it art and why is it science? First of all, science, because you have a lot of data available for you, and what it means that you can use this data to analyze and come up with hypotheses. So in a really scientific approach. But there is also the art part, which is really important, which is about the behavioral psychology, it's about the branding, it's about understanding the reason behind some of the actions that your users or customers are taking on your website.
And it's never been more challenging to get people to a website in the first place at the moment because of costs of media inflation and so much noise out there, I guess. So once people come to your site, you want to keep them, right?
Correct. Yeah. As I was saying, as you just said as well, Jim, the fact is that there is so much competition nowadays for user attention. Now you get TV, you get social, you get PPC, or literally you are bombarded 24/7. So once you get them on your website, you want to keep them and you want to deliver a good experience. How do you do this? As I said, there is the science part where you actually can do some research. You can use the data that are available to you on your website via the tracking that you're already on your website. Or you can use heat maps, or you can also use surveys on the website. So multiple times I think you've seen, oh, can you answer some of these questions for us? It's important for you to understand how the user is actually interacting with your website, because the action that the user are going to take, the micro conversion they're called, are going to lead to what you actually want at the end of the journey, which is increasing the revenue. And therefore you want to understand all of these micro conversions and where the user hits and how the user actually behave. So you want to understand not only from a scientific perspective but also from a behavioral perspective. So CRO encapsulates A/B testing, which is about not simply changing the position of a button, but it's also about scripting, having good content that actually engage the users on your website. But it's also about all the checkout funnel, where all the micro conversions that are important to you, like the add to basket, or when you actually add your cards. So many times maybe it's really difficult for users. Sometimes I found as well that the checkout funnel is not really easy to understand, and it frustrates me a little bit, although I can navigate websites. So it's really important you actually deliver a good user experience to your users, so they can actually get as seamlessly as possible to the end, so you can actually increase your conversions.
Sure. And I guess it's an iterative process, right? You're constantly monitoring and adapting what we're doing to help that process, rather than just being one piece of siloed work.
Correct. CRO, I like it very much also because it's an iterative process, it's a cycle process. You never stop learning. It's always about testing, it's always about improving. And even when an A/B test fails, you always have a learning point from that, which is that thing doesn't work, and then you can apply. And even when your test is actually successful, you can still iterate to make it better and improve the experiences or that the users have on your website. But also, apart from A/B testing, we also have what is called optimization, which is about offering, you've seen it multiple times, recommended products, or you also see this on YouTube, on Amazon. I think you're familiar with those type of modules, they're called. This is where actually the user experience is really important, because that's where you retain not only your user but your customers, because as we know, it's much easier to make money from the customers they already have than from acquiring new users. So it's really important to optimize. So not only test but also optimize. So it's an iterative process, it's a cycling process, and you always have to go through it. Of course, it requires resources, and as I said before, it requires data, it requires tracking, and it requires also behavioral analysis. So you want to put some researches in place, qualitative researches where you ask questions, and also requires involvement from the creative team where you actually want to create a good, engaging content. So I believe it's a 360 job for the whole company at a certain point, because also when I consider SEO, there is a lot going on, and it's very much about what you actually can get out of it, which is, of course, as I mentioned, this is the revenue, like you improve return on investment, your marketing investment. But it's also about making your customers loyal, like giving to your users and customers an experience that they want to repeat, that it's easy to do, and which actually allows you to have a competitive advantage against other, against your competitors, against other rivals, because your customers will feel comfortable with you.
Great. And so I think it's fair to say we're probably doing more CRO work than ever before for all the reasons that we've highlighted. So if anyone wants to get in touch with us, we'd be happy to share some case studies of our work and demonstrate the impacts of an improved CRO process and what that can make to the business.
No, yeah, that's really the bulk of it. We are increasing our CRO activities because we already talked about how important it is to keep your user and your customer on your website, and we can help our clients or future clients that are listening to us to build the robustness of data that we actually need in order to kick off the share activities, because after that then we can create hypotheses and the testing and optimization, and then ultimately deploy all of these activities on the website in order to retain the customers. Because at the end of the day, we can help the customers, our clients, retain users and increase the revenue.
Brilliant. Thanks, Vinny. Thanks.
Pleasure.